What's another video on the Inside Spurs channel? Happy Tuesday afternoon to you all. Game day tomorrow. Atletico Madrid 5-2 up against Spurs. We're talking about the game. We've got some great injury news coming out of Tottenham. Returning names and quite big names. We're also going to be talking about a massive, ginormous name potentially being injured for Atletico Madrid. So a little bit of good news for Spurs in that regard. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be talking about Micky Van de Ven's comments coming out of today. Fighting back a little bit. Kind of like it in a weird way. We'll see about it. We'll see what you guys think. But there's plenty of good stuff to talk about. We're not talking about the transfer news. I'm not going to be... I mean, I see it all over Twitter. All these Spurs pages. Spurs are interested in this player. Spurs are interested in that player. Not interested. We've got a Champions League second leg coming up tomorrow. That's all I give a damn about. I don't care about Forest at the weekend. I care about the game tomorrow. That's where my focus is. If you want to talk Forest or you want to talk transfer news, by all means, please wait for me to do another video on it later in the week. Or in transfer news in the summer. I'll see you back in the summer. It's sunny right now. All right, you can see from the latch window, it's sunny right now. But right now, all I care about is Atletico Madrid. So let's talk about it. Obviously, Spurs in a hole that they got themselves into. Yes, keeper woes and Atletico Madrid players diving aside. Spurs are in the hole because they made themselves get into the hole. Me, first and foremost, you're going to have to keep a clean sheet tomorrow night. If you want to get through, you're going to have to keep a clean sheet tomorrow night. Okay? Secondly, you really can't be going into half-time 1-0 up. Anything less than 1-0 up. Because if you're going in at half-time 0-0, I don't think you're scoring 3 against Atletico, a very solid defensive side. You're not scoring 3.5 against them. Now, teams like Barca probably could, but that's Barca. We're Tottenham. We're 16th in the Premier League or whatever, 17th, whatever, I don't care. You can see, right? So when we look at it now, there is returning names, big names, okay? Now, one of them will play, well, technically 2 actually. I'm thinking about 2 will play probably a full 90. Micky is back, Micky Van de Ven, and Romero has been training. Igor Tudor has said he is playing. He is cleared concussion protocol. So whether you like them or not, the main 2 centre-halves for Spurs having one of the best defensive records in Europe, they're back. Maybe them being back together, you know, at home, maybe that's what they need. I don't know. I'm trying to be a glass half full, although my glass is kind of empty right now. There's no summer fruit squash. If you know, you know. But they're coming back. Lucas Bergvall has returned. Now, look, he's not going to be fit to play a full 90, but he has returned. And also, Destiny Doggy's back. Again, not fit to play a full 90, but he is back. That is, for me, massive. Okay? I thought Spence played well against Liverpool. No doubt. Okay? But we're a better team when that left back is bloody playing. Okay? That's massive. I think when we look at it, Spurs obviously having an ungodly amount of people out injured. Well, I don't know about you. I'm just grateful that we've got players coming back. Whether they've been in form or not, they're coming back. That's important for me. Okay? You know, again, when we look at the first leg, you know, the team actually didn't really change too much from that. You know, Richie started against Liverpool, so did Tell, so Spence, Gray, Sarr, Porro, Danso. You know, Vic came off the bench, he started. Obviously, Simmons fit. Gallagher, I'd assume Gallagher's going to be back as well. You know, in reality, Spurs, look, Micky won't be back for the weekend after, but Spurs are somewhat healthier coming into this game. I'm not saying very healthy, and the doggy's not healthy. Neither's going to be Bergvall. But it's better than bloody nothing having Micky, Romero, Destiny, Gallagher, Bergvall. I mean, that's 5 players returning alone. 5. You know, Porro's only just come back. You know, it's big. It's big. You know, Solanke's back. You know, he's not obviously, he had a long-term injury. He's back, and I've given him the grace to say, look, it's going to take him some time. But look, we'll wait and see on that. Let's just wait and see. I'm optimistic, not in regards to us going through. I'm optimistic because Spurs have got some bloody returning players coming back. That, for me, is big. Okay. We're looking at Atletico Madrid now, though. This is the big news. For me, this is huge. What's the one position when you look at Atletico Madrid that if they were to be missing, makes a huge impact? Is it Julian Alvarez? Is it Koke? For me, it's Oblak. And Marca put out saying that Oblak is set to miss the game against Spurs. Now, it could be a red herring. We'll wait and see. But obviously, look, Juan Musso was the guy who played last weekend against Getafe, and they won 1-0. It was a great goal from Molina. If you haven't seen it, by the way, go and quickly watch it. He's hit it from Barcelona. That's how far out he is, and he scored. It's an absolute belter. I mean, look at this season. Atletico Madrid have a better defensive record than Barca in the La Liga. They've conceded 1 goal more than Real Madrid. They've conceded 25 in 28. So we're asking a lot from them, from the Spurs players. Let's wait and see. Because in the 3 games prior to Getafe, they conceded 3 against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semi-final. They conceded 2 against Real Sociedad, and they conceded 2 against us. Now, if you know where Sociedad is 7th in La Liga. Obviously, we're in the bin. We're in the pits of hell in the Premier League, and they conceded 2 against us. So we can score. There's no reason to say why can't we score 3 when we're at home. It's you're going to keep a clean sheet. Well, there is that. We'll wait and see on that. But also, you can tell, Griezmann on the bench, Llorente on the bench, Alvarez on the bench, Simeone's on the bench, Lutman's on the bench, Ruggeri's on the bench, Cardoso, Hanko, Lenormand. They rested a lot of players last weekend. They just scraped past Getafe 1-0, with Getafe being down to 10 men. Spurs, obviously, having played everyone they could have played because they had no one else to do so. I think when you now look at it and go, well, Romero's coming back, and Van de Ven's coming back, and Udogie's coming back, and Bergvault's coming back, and Gallagher's coming back. You start to look at it and go, actually, do you know what? I'm not saying they're fit, but Spurs have bodies finally. They finally have bodies. We'll wait and see about, obviously next month they predicted Kudus is going to be back next month. What happens with, Bissouma, Paulinho. Spurs are still missing so many players. I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But wait and see on that one. But look, I'm looking forward to the game. I don't think Spurs are going through. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I think Spurs will win for some reason. I just do. But I don't think we're going through. I think we're winning like 2-1, something like that. And I think they're going to sit back and just feed off of what we're going to be doing, really. That's all. A little bit on what Micky came out and said. Micky obviously coming out and talking about how other players speaking to other clubs and things like that. And, Micky's been one that's been said that he's moping around the training ground. His agent speaking to Barcelona and stuff. But he said the other day when we read that one guy told the rest of the team that he doesn't care because he's leaving anyway, it's like, how does this come out? It's just made up and the fans will believe it. It's just frustrating. And I do sympathise. I do think fans will latch onto it and go, well, that's truth. We see it through Western media all the time. Because it's in the news, it must be true. I think that's the same thing. So I do kind of sympathise. Do I think that maybe there's some validity to it? Potentially. But, I do think there may be some validity to it. And he also said it's not true that the players have switched off. They say players are going to leave either way. It's just nonsense and people believe it. Fair play. Do you know what, though, Micky? Going to have to stand up this game. And do you know what? Even if Spurs were not to go through, but Spurs win 2-0 and we give absolutely bloody everything and we just fall short, okay, we aren't in Europe next year. We're not going to be in the Champions League. We don't progress. But Spurs fans sit there and go, but you won. You beat a good team, a really good team. You beat them handedly. You showed that you gave a damn. You went into every challenge. You gave it your all. And do you know what? Sometimes things don't land your way. We'd understand it. And we'd go, but we got some confidence going into that weekend game against Forest. And we're up for it now. So let's see. But Igor Tudor saying that, he's very confident about us not getting relegated. Well, we'll see. But he asked about the comeback about against Atletico. He said, it's difficult, but not impossible. We need to stay in the game as much as possible. So believe we can do it. That's the most important thing from the start. Also quite... I do sort of feel for Igor Tudor after the amount of crap Sky Sports reporters giving him and things like that. Because obviously English, yes, is not his natural language. But they gave him so much crap. And I felt for him a little bit because he stood up for himself and it was like, oh, he's all testy. Look at him, he's rattled. It's like, no, he's not. He's dealing with a moron reporter that doesn't know what he's doing. Us as fans want information from these managers and players and learn, not for tabloid TMZ style reporting, which is what Sky Sports have become. And they're an embarrassment at the moment, to be honest. They need to go back to where they used to be. Incredible news reporting. And not like a fan YouTube channel. Like we do this, and that's just cash. We look at Sky Sports News as actual commentary and actual knowledge, not jackasses like me talking absolute nonsense. So, but look, let's see with Igor. Let's see. But let me know your thoughts about the game down tomorrow. Obviously, enjoy St. Paddy's Day, wherever you're up to. And I hope to speak to you all maybe tomorrow after the game. And you just never know. Speak to you all soon. Peace.